Alright, so here's the end of term 1 year 10 exam, so just going through the answers now. Alright, number 1. So 4 times 5 is 20, m times n is m squared, and we've got an n. Alright, 1b. 4 lots of a squared minus 2 lots of a squared is 2 lots of a squared. Alright, division. So 10 over 20 simplifies to a half. We can cancel out 1x from the top, 1 from the bottom. We can cancel out, well, the y's stay where they are, and the z's cancel. So to tidy that up, we get y cubed over 2x squared. Well, x to the power of 0 is 1, 6 times 1 is 6. So here we're cubing. 2 cubed is 8, 4 times 3 for a is 12, and b cubed. And for this one here, so the negative 2a's moved down, so you end up with 3 over a cubed. Question 2, simplify. So here we can see that we can, one lot of, if you're multiplying by n plus 5, dividing by n plus 5, one of those brackets disappears. One lot of n minus 3 over one lot of n minus 3 disappears, so we end up with 1, because 2 over 4 simplifies to a half, of m plus 5. And we usually don't expand if we want to simplify it, so that's the answer that we want. Alright, B. So we're dividing. When we divide, we keep the first, flip the second, and then change it to multiply. Times the top through, you get 35x squared, times the bottom, and you get 28x. Now you can divide both of these by 7 to get 5 over 4. Cancel out one of the x's, you get 5x over 4. Here we expand and simplify, so you get 4x plus 12 minus 8 minus 2x. 4x minus 2x is 2x, and 12 take away 8 is plus 4. D, so you can only add or subtract fractions when the denominators are the same. That's got a denominator of 1, so we need to make the denominators 2x. So the first one is 5. The second one, we need to times it by 2x to get 6x over 2x. So we times that by 2x over 2x. Third one, we need to multiply by 2 over 2. So we get plus the 4 over 2x. Now when we collect like terms, you get 5 plus 4 is 9, minus the 6x over 2x. You could have had minus 6x plus 9 as well. Question 3. Evaluate fully. Well, to the power of a half means square roots. So it's the square root of 9 over the square root of 4. Square root of 9 is 3, square root of 4 is 2. There's our answer, 3 over 2. B. So because it's negative, it's 1 over 16 to the 3 quarters. Now the denominator here is 4. So it's the 4th root of 16 cubed. The 4th root of 16 is 2, and 2 to the power of 3 is 8. Now we cannot multiply these together because the bases are different. So I recognise that 27 is a power of 3 because 3 cubed is 27. So now when we're doing this, we add the indices. So we end up with 3x plus 15x, because that time that's 15. 15 plus 3 is 18x. Question 4. So it's our complex unfamiliar. Simplify the following fully. Well, because this is the cube root, it's going to be a6b minus 9 to the power of a third. This one I can cube to get 8a cubed b cubed c6. I'm going to flip this one upside down to get 4c minus 2, and this would be the square root, so that's going to be 4a 4b minus a all to the power of a half, because that's what the square root is. Now let's tidy this up. So we multiply, 6 times a third is 2, so we end up with a squared, minus 9 times a third is minus 3, and we'll keep the bottom the same, times, we'll keep that one up, and let's just simplify this bracket. So the square root of 4 is 2, 4 times 2 there is 2, and minus a, half of that is minus 4. Now I'm going to do multiply the numerators, so I end up with 4 a squared b minus 3 c minus 2, and the denominator 8 times 2 is 16. We've got 5 a's, we've got minus 1 b and c6, and now finally we can simplify this. So 4 over 16 is 1 over 4. Cancel out 2 a's, a cubed. Move the 3 down, you've got b squared. Move the c down, you have c8. So it's just a 1 left on the top. Question 5. Solve. So when we solve, because it's plus 4x, we minus the 12. Because it was plus 12 minus 12, therefore we get 4x equals 36. So x must be 36 divided by 4, x is 9. Because it's divided by 3, we multiply by 3 to get x minus 1 equals 27, and then because it's plus 1, because it's minus 1 with plus 1, x must be 28. So here we're going to expand, so 2x minus 10 equals 3x plus 18. I'm going to move my plus 18 to negative 18 and my 3x to minus 2x. So I get negative 28 equals x. X equals negative 28, which is our answer. Alright, next question. Here. So what we want to do here is have one term on the right, one term on the left, so we can cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 2 over 2, so the denominators are both 4. So we end up with 2a plus 1 over 3 equals 2a over 4 minus 3a minus 1 over 4. Now I'm going to simplify the right hand side. So left stays as it is. 2a take away 3a is minus a. Take away minus 1 becomes plus 1. Now we're going to cross multiply because this side is divided by 3. I'll just sort the focus out for you. So because this side is divided by 3, we're going to times this side by 3. So it's 3 lots of minus a plus 1 on the right. Because it's divided by 4, we times this by 4, so it's 4 lots of 2a plus 1 on the left. Expand and simplify. 8a plus 4 equals minus 3a plus 3. Move my a's to this side. And the plus 4 becomes minus 4, so 11a equals negative 1. A must be minus 1 over 11. Question 6. Simplify the following fully. So first thing we're going to do is turn this fraction upside down over 2p minus 1 times by p over 2p cubed. Now I'm going to multiply, so times the top by p, we get 4p cubed minus 2p squared over 4p4 minus 2p cubed. Now what we want to do is factorise the top and bottom to see if it simplifies further. Well, first actually we can divide everything here by p squared and 2. So let's do that first. So we divide everything by 2p squared. We end up with 2p minus 1. Divide by 2p squared. We end up with 2p squared minus p. So just double check that. Now we can factorise the denominator to take out the p, and we end up with 2p minus 1. Now we can see top fraction cancels with the bottom fraction. It actually is 1 over p, the whole expression. Question 7. What's the midpoint between? So our midpoint formula is x1 plus x2 over 2 and y1 plus y2 over 2. It's always good as well to label these coordinates. So when we substitute, we get minus 3 plus 7 over 2 and 4 plus 2 over 2. You can type them into your calculator. You don't need to in this case because we get 4 divided by 2 is 2 and 6 divided by 2 is 3. There's the midpoint. Question 8. What is the length of a line? So we use our length formula or distance formula, which is y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared, and we end up with 14 take 4 squared plus 2 minus 8 squared, and if you type that into your calculator, you get 14 minus 4 is 10, so that's 100, plus 36 is the square root of 136. Now that's the exact answer. If you wanted to type it in the approximate answer, it's 11.66 to 2 decimal places. Question 9. What's the equation? So to find the equation of a line, you need to find the gradient first. So it's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so we get minus 11 take away 9 over negative 5 minus 5, so we get minus 20 over minus 10. So our gradient, is positive 2 because a negative divided by negative is a positive. Now we know the gradient, we can use the formula here, and when we substitute in, we get y minus 9 equals 2x minus 5, and when we expand we get 2x minus 10, so I end up with 2x minus the 10 plus 9, and finally y equals 2x minus 1. So there's the equation of a line. We had to find the gradient first. Right, question 10. Prove the following is a right-angled triangle, and the three lines join between here, here and here. There's a few different ways that you can do this, but one of the key points of a right-angled triangle is that, well, it has a right angle, which means two of the lines are perpendicular. So if we can find the gradient between these two, between AB, BC and AC, if any are perpendicular, then we know it's right angled. So let's find the gradient between AC. I'm going to use the same formula for gradient over here, so I don't want to write it out every time. So between A and C, we get y2 minus y1, so 6 take away 4, over 11 take away 1. So our gradient here would be 2 over 10, or 1/5. Alright, our gradient AB, y2 minus y1, so that's 10 take away 4, 5 take away 1, so we end up with 6 over 4, or 3 over 2. Finally, let's do our gradient BC. So we get y2 minus y1, so m equals 6 minus 10 over 11 take away 5, and we get minus 4 over 6, which is negative 2, 3. Now, to prove two lines are perpendicular, when you multiply the gradients, it equals negative 1. So therefore, we've got 3 over 2 multiplied by minus 2 over 3, this gradient times this gradient, because that equals negative 1. So therefore, we know that the line AB is perpendicular to the line BC. Sorry, there's the symbol for perpendicular, hence right-angled triangle. Alright, question 11. Dave invested $16,000 for 6 years with 4.5% simple interest. How much interest does he receive? Well, simple interest is PIN. The principal was $16,000. The interest rate as a decimal is 0.045, and after 6 years we just type that into a calculator. So the interest he receives is $4,320. Alright. Question 12. John invests $20,000 into compound interest. What's his return after 11 years? So for compound interest, the formula is 1 plus I to the power of n. It's plus because it invests, it's an increase. The principal is 20,000. The interest rate is 0.052, and it's to 11 years. So you type that into your calculator, and therefore his return is $34,930.37, because we must round to 2 decimal places. Right, last question. What interest rate would triple your money in 5 years using compound interest? Well, here's our compound interest formula. The things we know. Really, we don't know the interest rate, but we know it's to 5 years. Now our return, if you triple your money, if you started with P, we end up with 3P. Now we just got to rearrange for I, because if we divide this by P, 3P divided by 3, we end up with 3 equals 1 plus I to the power of 5. Now rearranging this, because it's to the power of 5, that means it's the 5th root, equals 1 plus I, and because it's plus 1, we find the interest rate here. So if I type this into my calculator, it's the 5th root of 3, take away 1, we get I equals 0.2457, and that's obviously our interest rate is a decimal, so that would mean it was 24.57% interest is what you would need to triple your money in 5 years.